guys, I've got some new stuff I want to play with, so we are just going to start getting into it. I want to put some new stuff on my face. Specifically, I have this Tarte Rainforest of the Sea? Rainforest of the Sea Volume 3. This isn't new to anybody else, but it's new to me. I just got some Anastasia Dip Brow in blonde, and her fancy little super sharp thing. I was messing with it. And I want to put some stuff on my face and hang out with you guys, so let's put it on my face. I also want to try applying my foundation in a new way. Foundation I've been using. That's not working. My hands are slippery. So we're just not going to do that. We'll do a headband. Get out of my face. Yes, my roots are very blonde and my hair is blue. It'll be fine. So, step 1, eyeshadow primer. I like to put it under my eyes. And I'm going to try to do my whole face in the mirror in here. If I can, no, I can't. Yeah. Because it should be fine. Yeah. Also, like, look how cute that is. That makes me happy. But I have the Lorac Behind the Scenes Eye Primer that I'm trying out. I finished up my Smashbox one. And I just put a little bit of that under my eyes, because otherwise stuff shifts around a lot under there. Oh. And I have been swatching stuff, and I want to use these two colors out of the Tarte palette on my eyes today. Oh, and my lipstick's new. I got a new Bite lipstick in Kale. So it's not new to anybody else. It's been out for a while, but I haven't really wandered around yet, so I want to do that. Okay, then we do rest of face primer. I'm going to be using the Kors Mattifying Pomegranate Primer. It's water-based, which my face likes. Ow. My piercing is still a little bit tender. Not like super tender, but it's barely a week old. And so I keep forgetting how often I bumped it into my nose until I hit it and I'm like, oh, that's right, that's still sensitive. Because it's going to take 2 to 4 months to heal fully. Cool. I hope I don't get a cold between now and then, because Blood my nose isn't the worst with this, but it's a little more complicated to get fully clear. Because, you know, there's something in the way. I do like it, though. I'm really happy with my septum piercing. Okay, primer on. Now, I got a foundation brush. Yes, this one from Luxie, the 660 Precision Foundation Brush, and I've been messing around with it, and I think I actually might want to use this for actually putting on foundation. I almost always use a beauty blender. I'm so in the habit that I went and I wet this, which I might still use it to put my highlight on, because I like that, but I was like, oh, let's sit down. I was like, that's right, I wanted to use a brush. Not my beauty blender for once. So we're going to be using the Fiona Styles Matte Finish Foundation Concentrate. And when I was messing around, I just pumped it right onto the brush. So we're going to see if that still works. So I'm going to use a pump for each third of my face. And just kind of spread it around. Yeah, that's looking super nice. I always thought that brushes were going to leave, like, brush marks, but this one really hasn't so far. And it is a nice size to, like, get into the little spaces around my nose, and on my chin. And I am, like, using a little less pressure as it's applied. That's super nice. And I think that's a little bit more coverage than I probably get with the Beauty Blender, so Yes, this side is still pink from the fact that I put something on my skin and it reacts that way. So let's keep going with this. This is nice. I always wondered how they managed to not get foundation at the edges of their eyeshadow when they do their eyeshadow first, because with the Beauty Blender it's very imprecise. I feel like this could be one of the ways you could do that. I really like it. I may have found a new thing that I can do with my foundation. Although, it kind of leaves some product on the nozzle. That's not the worst. Let's just do my forehead. I do feel like people don't tend to necessarily pump it directly onto the brush when they do it with their stuff, but it's working for me, and I already have some eyeshadow on my hand, so I can't just pump it onto the back of my hand. But yeah, this is blending out very nicely. It's gonna be a little bit more complicated. Sorry, I gotta have to like duck down so I can hold my little flop hair out of the way and get this down. Make sure it's blended down to my neck, which is super pale. I think the only problem I'm going to have is that I've run over a couple sections, like my nose doesn't hold foundation as well, so it's not going to be nice. It's not even nice with the Beauty Blender, it just ends up kind of elsewhere. But yeah, step one, I like that. I am going to quickly set under my eyes with a tapered highlighter and the NYX HD finishing powder. Yeah, just something translucent to go and set under my eyes in case of fallout. Which, this NYX powder is really nice. I took a break from it because it was so close to dead to do some other stuff, but now I'm going to go ahead and just use it until it's gone. It really is very nice and translucent, and now that area is matte. Alright. Sorry. I already have my mascara in my bra, and it's kind of shifting inwards. So I gotta stop it from falling out and then down. And now we get to go in with eyeshadow. So that's where I put it. I found it. I'm gonna go in with that same eyeshadow primer up on the lid and start putting some stuff on the face. Do you guys ever realize you've kind of settled into one way of applying something and then randomly try something else and it works really nicely and you don't know why you weren't doing it that way to begin with? I never understood makeup, like foundation brushes, because they never went on nicely with me. It might have just been that foundation sucked, not the brush or the method of applying with the brush. I even actually kind of have a plan for my look today. I don't normally. And I've used a couple shimmers from Tarte in their Tarte Pro palette, but like I haven't used their Rainforest of the Sea formula before, which everybody seems to really like, so we'll find out. I'm hoping it's not going to have a ton of fallout. It shouldn't, considering they're like shimmery shades, but you never know. And I have lost my brush. There you are, hiding at the back. I always use this Morphe brush for my base shade, and I'm going to be using NYX Kiss the Day. This is one of those ones I'm tracking how I'm using it in the same spot almost every day. I'm going to track how many applications I get out of it, which seems exciting to me. might not be entertaining for anybody else, but I want to know. Like, if you're buying one shade for your lid and one shade for your crease and one base shade, like, how long are they actually going to work you if you do the same application every day? Because some people do just wear the exact same shades every day, and it'd be nice to have an idea of how long, so you can get something to work for you, or to, like, know how long it's going to last, so that you know if the higher price and potentially quality one is worth it, or if you're not going to get enough. If you're buying it every like 2 months or something, it might not be worth it, depending on your price range. NYX is pretty cheap, but this is just, I just needed a base cream shadow to try that out. And I've been liking it so far. I think I've got a little bit of a dip going, which you can't see because of how light it is, and I'm enjoying it. And then I could use Tiki, because we'll use a little Tiki. We'll use a little bit. I'm going to take a NYX blending brush and pick up some Tiki as my transition shade. Generally I don't use a transition, I just use a crease shade and kind of blend the crap out of it. But I'll go ahead and incorporate this to soften out the edges. I'm going to go in with a Makeup Geek shade for my actual crease though. The entire rest of this palette is shimmer and pretty metallic shimmer too, not like a satin, like very shimmery. And Tiki's not quite deep enough for what I want. Yeah, that doesn't really look like I did anything, so I'm going to go in with Barcelona Beach from Makeup Geek, because it's a really nice cool toned brown that's got a touch of pink in it. So I'm going to use that as my crease shade, using that same fluffy blending brush. Yeah, that works out. So I want kind of like a bronzy look. At least this bronzy. I want this all over my eye, and I think that's going to work out nicely. I'm gonna build up a little bit, just based on how dark I know that shade's going to be once it's packed on my lid. I'm also keeping it very round, like when I do my deeper all over looks. Are they even though? Can't tell because one side of me is a little bit more shadowed than the other one, so we'll just put a little bit more. A transition shade is actually helping a lot, making sure this is nice and very soft, super blended. So I'm going to go in with my Luxie 231 and start doing my lower lash line, and I guess I will use that same Tiki transition shade, just so that we match top and bottom. Which I already knew I liked the Tarte matte formulation. It's really nice, and I've been liking their shimmers in the other palette I have. I massively upped my Tarte shimmer collection today because I also picked up the Make Believe in Yourself, and it looks super nice and it swatches really, really nice, and I'm excited. Okay, and then we'll take Tiki in that same type of placement on that same brush. I'm gonna make sure it's connecting up to the top. Nice round shape. then we're going to start darkening things. I'm still working on this Smashbox filter trio. I just have the one darker brown left, and I'm going to pick that up on this same Luxie brush, which I use for a lot of things. I might need to just buy like 5 of these, because I also really like it for putting in my highlight, but I can't do that if I've already used it for under my eyes and the darkening shade. Deepening. Okay, and then we're just going to start slowly rocking that in my crease. Yeah. And then go over the top to just make sure it's nice and blended. And we will do it on the other side as well. So this is technically like a really nice shade to pan because you can use it with so many things in so many places. Might have gotten a little darker on that side, but it'll be fine. We'll blend it out. Yeah, that's close enough. And then while I have that out and I'm working with it, I'm going to take this little pointed type pencil brush from Sephora and take this dark brown. You know, I feel like I know what it's called. It's either Sumatra or Sable, but nobody knows. Because like they put it on the back of the packaging, but it rotates as you spin it in, so I don't know what they're actually referring to. I'm just going to run that into, like, right into my lash line, about 2/3 of the way across, to tie it into my upper lid. We should be done with that. Oh, I don't want to forget to knock off the excess, because this can be kind of powdery. And I've already done my foundation, because you saw me do it. That is the worst, though, when like you finish up a shadow look and it looks so nice and so pretty, and then you realize in doing it you drop some on the rest of your face, and now you have to take everything off because you're not precise enough to take off just one section. Alright, so that should be the end of that. I want to take this Ulta packing brush, and I'm going to put Malibu all over my lid. Oh, that looks so promising. Oh, that is so nice. And I touched it really lightly because I don't want to deal with fallout. I really don't. I'm not down for fallout. So I'm just kind of pressing it into the shade and then knocking off any loose powder, and then I am pressing it into my eye and feathering it out pretty lightly. This is super pretty. It's also a little lighter than I was expecting, which is nice. It means I can use this as more of a lid shade and less of a darker outer corner shade, like I was expecting. It's very reflective though. Tarte may be moving into one of my favorite eyeshadow formulas. I knew I loved their mattes. Turns out I love their shimmers as well. So let's get started on the other eye. Do you guys have any companies like that where you've like tried one of their formulas and it's really nice, but you don't know anything about the other formulas? Like you hear a lot about Kat Von D's mattes and stuff, and then you find out her shimmers are aggressive and gorgeous. So again, this is taking a bit of building, and I'm not sure if that's the shadow or if it's just the way I'm putting it on, but I'm alright with it. I would rather have something that builds nicely than goes on too aggressive and flaky right away. That's really nice. This is definitely going to be one of those things I use a lot. Because it's got really nice, buildable, neutral metallics. That's probably why everybody likes these, that they're just like good quality day shades. Like you could probably pan this whole thing pretty easily. They're all neutral, they're all nice. Then I'm going to use the thing that I bought hoping it was like the Luxie one, which is, it's pretty close. And I want to put, oh, I touched it. I swatched one. Which one did I swatch? Compass? I think Compass is the one I had picked for my inner corner. So I'm going to take that on this one. Just kind of pick it up on the end. And I really liked this application method for inner corner highlight. It gets it nice and diffused. I like that. I guess not diffused so much as just like nicely put on, not too specifically spotted. I'd been using a different super detail brush and it was ending up super in one spot, and then as you went to spin it out, the brush was holding too much product to really like move it around nicely and blend it out. This is a Morphe G18. It works really well for putting stuff in your inner corner apparently. And it does all the stuff that the Luxie brush that I used earlier does. That's really nice. I super like that. And then I am going to use my Beauty Blender to put on powder. So I have this Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. And I have found, A, that the sifter never gives me enough. B, that I really like to pick it up with the bottom of a Beauty Blender and press it into my skin. And then dust off the excess, because I get oily. So at least definitely getting this in my T-zone helps. Ow, ow, ow. I touched my nose in the wrong way. And I just do the rest of my face because that's what I'm already doing. So, if you have oily skin, this helps a lot. Although you might not want to necessarily do this with more expensive powders. Like, I'm sure I'm using this way faster than I need to doing it that way, but I like it. So it's had about 5 seconds to set in, and then you just go over it with a brush and kind of knock off any excess. And then your foundation is nice and set. At least on me. This very well might not work for anybody with dry skin. I do not necessarily condone this if you have dry skin. Although if you put like an oil on and then your foundation and then did this, it might like lock it into your skin nicely. I don't know. And then next I want to use this Sonia Kashuk Flamingo blush. It's not new, I'm just panning it, and I think it goes nicely with a lot of stuff. So I'm picking it up on a Luxie 514. I did repress it, so it's a little loose. So I have to knock off some powder to make sure I don't get too much. We'll just start sweeping that on my cheekbones, and I like it in that C shape around my face. Yeah, that's nice. Also, fun thing, if you hit pan and then repress something, you get to hit pan again. looks a little extra pink in the shadow, but it's fine. I really do like to buff out the edges and make it more even. More evenly blended into my skin. Now we get to try something dangerous. We're gonna go in with the Anastasia Dip Brow in Blonde. I have not used this on my face before. I have heard a lot about how intense these are. Luckily, she's got one of these brushes with the spoolie on the other end. Oh, my brows need to be reshaped pretty badly. So. Okay, some of it might be the brush. The brush is very firm, which is going to be good for making like hair-like strokes if I can do it right. Now. That is intense. So I'm going in pretty lightly and just kind of placing it through. Whew. Good thing I got a shade lighter than I normally wear. This stuff is intense, and I had already taken some off. Yeah. So I can see why this lasts people years. We're still going. Like, I dipped it in. Like, the lightest amount. Okay, yeah, that's kind of intense. So we're going to pick up that other bit that I kind of left off the brush on the inside and start dragging it back into the tail in an attempt to not have brows that are super aggressive, but that are filled in. Okay, let's go over it. Yeah, I'm not sure how well this is going to work for my outer edge because I really want to get a little more for my outer edge, but I also don't want to go too dark. Not outer edge, like the tail of my brow. I feel like this is going to start requiring like fancy skills. Okay, it's going to be fine. I feel like it's going to be a lot easier when my brows have been recently waxed. So yeah, it's not the crispest of brows, but it'll do. Let's do the same thing on my other side. Which is going to be dangerous because this is my problem brow. Okay, this is fine. I think I made a very smart choice in getting a lighter shade than I normally put on my brows. I think if this was any darker, my brows would be super intense right now. Which they're already a little bit intense, but they're like, you could write this off as, oh, she just has like bolder brows. I'm just getting placed decently specific. I like that. Okay, yeah, I like these. And for the record, I used literally nothing in there. So this is going to last me forever. Good thing I like it. They do look a lot more like that's just how my hair grows in, even though I didn't manage to do the hair-like strokes that you're supposed to be able to do with the brow pomade and that pencil or brush. But that looks pretty nice. I think with practice I can get a lot better at using it, which means fancy brows. I am also going to continue with my ColourPop Stole the Show highlighter. I'm going to take that on the tip of my Beauty Blender. And I use that to place it on my cheekbones. And then I just kind of blend it out with my finger. So it ends up nice, diffused. And then I go over it with glitter because I'm a mess. Put that aside, and then I do legit go over it with glitter. I've got, that's too big. That's not the one I want. This is the one I want. I have this strange BH Cosmetics brush, and I pick up the MAC Rock Candy, and then I just use that as a scattered glitter layer over my highlight. Sometimes when you're panning a highlight, you get bored with it and you want to change up the texture or the color or the level of sparkle. Then you play with other things and find out that this thing you bought as an eyeshadow makes a really nice highlighter. So, I'm feeling this look so far. I've got like 2 more things to do. Oh. I have to put on my lower waterline. I'm going to use the NYX ColourPop Honeydew liner just inside. It rolled down. I like it. And this thing is another one of those things that just won't die. I use it like every day and it still keeps going up. Okay, so I'm gonna curl my lashes. I got this little Tweezerman guy. And then we can, after this, we can get to the last of the new things. Which again is only new to me, not to anybody else, but I'm still excited. So, it's not the mascara. The mascara is not new. We're going with the Bite lipstick at the end. But I've got the Benefit They're Real Tinted Lash Primer from Benefit. It makes me happy. I just feel like this thing works really well at placing my lashes where I want them. Which is probably why I keep buying this one. And it's not white. White lash primers, like, I understand they're really good for undercolors and everything, but people sell them to go with, like, black mascaras, and then it's going to be very apparent if you miss a section with your mascara, if your white primer's peeking through. Whereas it's not going to show up nearly as much if your primer is like a deep brown like this. And I understand I will at some point. Probably already do miss patches in my mascara all the time. And not fully coat things. But you can't tell, because I got brown primer. I'm good with that. And then we've got the Tarte Lash Paint. And I think this only comes in black, so it's a little sample that I'm running through, but I've used this before and I really like it. It's got like this really, really spiky wand that's very nice for combing through and separating eyelashes. Which I'm big into, separated fanned out lashes. You know, some people like them clumpy for volume, but that's not my thing. There's like a little extra spikiness around my eye for definition. Do you guys use a mascara primer or just do like one coat of, I know some people just do 2 coats of the mascara itself and they like that. I feel like that always gets clumpy on me though. Or do you guys just put on one layer of mascara and it works magic for you? That'll work. Okay, we are down to the last thing going on my face. Green lipstick in Kale. Okay. Actually, I could probably take this off now. So yeah, you could totally leave this here if you were trying to follow this along like a tutorial, which I keep forgetting to talk about other things than my makeup, so these end up as very long, lazy tutorials. But I'm gonna put on this. Yeah. So Bite sells lip liners, which probably would have made this a much more precise and crisp application. I didn't think about it, I just really wanted this lipstick. And generally, they're pigmented enough and creamy that you don't... Oh no. I don't feel the need for a lip liner with most Bite lipsticks. But I could see with a color like this being helpful. But yeah. That is the end of the new things on my face. How did I... There. I lost the cap. I'm really excited. I think I'm gonna get a lot of use out of all of these. Well, I have to use this one because I'm literally got maybe one more use in my other brow thing. And, I do my brows like every day. I am so happy with this right now. I know it's neutral, and people seem to think that's boring, but I like neutral. I like being able to have an eyeshadow palette that I can pull out, and one of these is probably going to work as a lid shade with whatever I want to put, like, on my face. Like, this could be hard to pair with things, but with a nice neutral look, it looks like a nice, bold choice. And, like, it matches my shirt. It's my Let's Summon Demon shirt. Dark lipstick seems to go with that for me. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you guys went to the preview sale, if you have any fun stuff, what you're looking forward to in recent or upcoming. Sure, recent and or upcoming. something launched recently and or you're excited about it coming back or coming out. Coming back is a reference to the Queen of Hearts palette. Who's that? Rain? Is that Rain Cosmetics? I'll have to link it down below, but it is the Queen of Hearts palette was a really is it Rain? I'm not sure it's Rain. I am blanking on the name of that company, but they're really well known for their eyeshadows and I think their lipsticks. And they had a Queen of Hearts palette out last holiday around Christmas, and they're bringing it back in October. And you can pre-order it, and I am super excited for that. I may have already pre-ordered it. Because I really wanted it, but I didn't get it. I've gone off the deep end again. I'm sorry. Have a nice day. Run away from me.